Welcome back to Unstoppable Mindset. There comes a time in every person's life when they must decide what is truly valuable. The world will constantly ask you to give up pieces of yourself to make other people comfortable. Sometimes it will ask you to sacrifice your dreams for approval, your peace for acceptance, your values for popularity, and your future for temporary relationships. Many people wake up years later realizing they didn't lose because they lacked talent. They lost because they kept giving away the very things that were meant to protect their destiny. One of the greatest mistakes a person can make is believing that love requires losing themselves. Real love never demands the destruction of your purpose. Genuine relationships do not require you to abandon your identity. Respect is never built on self-betrayal. If someone can only appreciate you after you've become someone else, they were never appreciating the real you to begin with. There are certain things in life that are simply too valuable to trade. Once they are lost, rebuilding them takes years of discipline, pain, and growth. That is why wisdom is not only knowing what to pursue, it is also knowing what you must never surrender. The first thing you must never sacrifice for anyone is your purpose. Every person enters this world with unique abilities, gifts, and opportunities. Your purpose is the reason those gifts were placed inside you. It is the assignment that gives meaning to your life. Without purpose, even success can feel empty, because you may achieve everything the world applauds while missing the very reason you were created to make a difference. One of the greatest tragedies in life is not failure. It is living someone else's life instead of your own. Too many people spend years trying to meet other people's expectations. They choose careers they never wanted because someone else approved of them. They silence their dreams because people around them said those dreams were unrealistic. They hide their talents because they fear criticism more than they value their calling. Slowly, they begin to forget who they really are. Never allow that to happen to you. The opinions of others may be loud, but they should never become the voice that directs your future. People will always have suggestions about how you should live, what you should become, and what you should avoid. Some advice is valuable, but not every opinion deserves authority over your life. If you let every voice influence your direction, you will spend your entire life changing paths instead of making progress. Purpose demands courage. It requires the willingness to keep moving, even when the people closest to you don't fully understand your vision. There will be moments when your dreams seem too big for those around you. Some will doubt you because they measure your future by your present circumstances. Others will discourage you because your ambition reminds them of the dreams they abandoned. Their limitations do not have to become your limits. Every meaningful journey begins with a decision to stay faithful to what you know deep inside your heart. That inner conviction becomes your compass when the road is uncertain. There will be days when the results are invisible. There will be seasons when your efforts seem unnoticed. Those are the moments when purpose matters most, because purpose gives you a reason to continue when motivation fades. Do not confuse comfort with fulfillment. Comfort feels safe, but purpose produces growth. Growth often requires sacrifice, discipline, patience, and persistence. The path toward your purpose may not always be easy, but it will always be worth it. Every challenge you overcome develops strength. Every obstacle teaches wisdom. Every setback prepares you for greater responsibility. Many people sacrifice their purpose to preserve relationships. They believe that keeping everyone happy is more important than remaining true to themselves. But healthy relationships should inspire you to become your best, not pressure you to become someone else. Anyone who truly cares about you should celebrate your growth, encourage your potential, and respect your convictions. If pursuing your purpose causes some people to walk away, let them walk. The people meant to be part of your future will respect the direction your life is taking. Remember that your purpose is bigger than personal success. It is about the lives you will influence, the problems you will solve, and the hope you will bring to others. Every gift you develop becomes a blessing to someone else. Every lesson you learn becomes wisdom you can share. Every victory you earn becomes proof that perseverance produces results. This is why you must protect your time. Time is the currency of purpose. Every hour wasted on meaningless distractions is an hour taken away from your assignment. Be intentional about where you invest your energy. Spend more time building your future than explaining your dreams to people determined to misunderstand them. You must also protect your mind. Your thoughts shape your actions, and your actions shape your destiny. Fill your mind with knowledge, wisdom, discipline, and encouragement. The more you strengthen your thinking, the stronger your decisions become. Purpose grows in a prepared mind, not a distracted one. There will always be people who expect you to settle for less than you are capable of achieving. They may call you unrealistic, overly ambitious, or different. Accept the fact that different is often the beginning of greatness. Every person who changed the world first had the courage to think differently from the crowd. Stay committed even when progress is slow. A tree does not bear fruit the day it is planted. It grows quietly beneath the surface before anyone notices its strength. Your life works the same way. The discipline you practice today is preparing you for opportunities you cannot yet see. Do not become discouraged because your harvest has not arrived. Continue planting, continue learning, continue improving, and continue believing. Your purpose is one of the greatest treasures you possess. It cannot be replaced by popularity, wealth, comfort, or approval. Those things may come and go, but purpose gives lasting significance to everything you do. Guard it with determination. Invest in it every day. Refuse to trade it for temporary acceptance or short-lived pleasures. One day you will look back on your life. On that day, the question will not be whether everyone agreed with your decisions. The question will be whether you had the courage to become the person you were capable of becoming. Make that decision today. Stand firm in your purpose. Remain faithful to your calling, and never sacrifice the life you were meant to live simply to fit into someone else's expectations. The second thing you must never sacrifice for anyone is your character. In a world that often celebrates quick success and instant rewards, character has become one of the rarest qualities a person can possess. Yet it is also one of the most valuable. Your character is not your appearance, your job title, your bank account, or the applause you receive from others. Your character is who you are when no one is watching. It is the collection of your values, your integrity, your honesty, and the choices you make every single day. Many people spend years building a reputation, but very few spend the same amount of time building character. The difference is important. Your reputation is what people think about you. Your character is who you truly are. Reputation can change overnight because of rumors, misunderstandings, or public opinion. Character, however, is built slowly through consistent decisions and unwavering principles. It is the foundation that keeps you standing when everything around you begins to shake. Life will present countless opportunities to compromise your values. Sometimes it will be for money. Sometimes it will be for power. Sometimes it will be for acceptance. You may be told that everyone is taking shortcuts, bending the rules, or sacrificing honesty to get ahead. In those moments, remember this truth. Anything you gain by abandoning your character will eventually cost you far more than it gives you. It is easy to do the right thing when the right thing is convenient. The real test of character comes when doing what is right is difficult. It comes when telling the truth may cost you an opportunity. It comes when keeping your word requires sacrifice. It comes when no one would know if you chose the easier path. Those moments define the person you are becoming. Strong character is not built during comfortable seasons. It is developed during trials. Pressure has a unique way of revealing what is already inside you. Just as fire refines gold, challenges refine people. Every obstacle gives you an opportunity to choose integrity over compromise, patience over anger, humility over pride, and discipline over excuses. These choices may seem small, but over time they shape your entire life. Never allow another person to convince you that your principles are outdated or unnecessary. The world may change, trends may come and go, but honesty, kindness, loyalty, responsibility, and self-discipline never lose their value. They are timeless qualities that earn trust, build lasting relationships, and create opportunities that shortcuts never can. There may be people who pressure you to become someone you are not. They may encourage you to lie to fit in, to betray someone's trust for personal gain, or to ignore your conscience for temporary success. Understand that anyone who asks you to compromise your character is asking you to sacrifice the very thing that makes you trustworthy. A relationship built on dishonesty will never produce genuine peace. A success built on deception will never provide lasting satisfaction. Character also determines how you treat people who cannot benefit you. Anyone can be kind when there is something to gain. True character is shown in how you treat those who have nothing to offer in return. Respect should not depend on someone's status, wealth, or influence. Every person deserves dignity because every person has value. Another important part of character is taking responsibility for your actions. Mature people do not spend their lives blaming others for every mistake or disappointment. They admit when they are wrong, learn from their failures, and make the necessary changes. Accepting responsibility is not a sign of weakness. It is one of the greatest signs of strength because it demonstrates humility and a commitment to growth. Your words are another reflection of your character. Speak truthfully, speak with wisdom, speak with kindness. Words have the power to build confidence or destroy it, to heal relationships or break them apart. Before speaking, ask yourself whether your words are honest, necessary, and helpful. A person of strong character understands that once words are spoken, they cannot be taken back. Discipline is also a pillar of character. Character is not only about avoiding wrong actions, it is about consistently choosing right actions even when no one is encouraging you. It is waking up with determination, honoring your commitments, managing your time wisely, and refusing to let emotions control your decisions. The habits you practice daily become the character you display publicly. Remember that people may forget what you owned, what you wore, or how famous you became, but they will remember how you treated them. They will remember whether you kept your promises, whether you stood by your values during difficult times, and whether your actions matched your words. That is the legacy of character. As you continue your journey through life, opportunities will come and go. Wealth may increase and decrease. Positions may change. Recognition may fade. But your character is something you carry into every season of life. It becomes the silent testimony that speaks before you ever say a word. It earns trust that money cannot buy and opens doors that talent alone cannot unlock. So protect your character with everything you have. Never exchange honesty for convenience, integrity for popularity, or your principles for temporary rewards. Stand firm in your values even when you stand alone. Success without character is empty, but a life built on strong character leaves an impact that lasts long after the applause has faded. In the end, your greatest achievement will not simply be what you accomplished, it will be the kind of person you chose to become. The third thing you must never sacrifice for anyone is your peace of mind. In today's fast-moving world, peace has become one of the most valuable possessions a person can have. Many people spend their entire lives chasing wealth, recognition, and success, only to discover that none of those things can replace a peaceful mind. A person may have everything the world admires, but if they cannot sleep at night, if they constantly carry anxiety, resentment, and emotional exhaustion, then they are living without one of life's greatest blessings. Your peace of mind is not something that should depend on other people's opinions or behavior. If your happiness rises and falls with every compliment or criticism, then you have handed control of your emotions to someone else. Real peace comes from knowing who you are, understanding what truly matters, and refusing to let temporary circumstances dictate your inner stability. One of the fastest ways to lose your peace is by trying to please everyone. It is impossible to make every person happy because people have different expectations, different beliefs, and different desires. If you spend your life trying to satisfy everyone, you will eventually become exhausted, frustrated, and disconnected from your own values. The truth is simple. You are responsible for your actions, but you are not responsible for everyone's reactions. There will always be people who misunderstand your intentions. Some will criticize your decisions because they see life through a different perspective. Others may judge you without knowing your story. If you stop every time someone doubts you, you will never move forward. Learn to accept that not every opinion deserves your attention. Some voices are meant to teach you, while others are simply distractions. Wisdom is knowing the difference. Protecting your peace also means choosing your battles carefully. Not every disagreement requires an argument. Not every insult deserves a response. Sometimes silence is more powerful than proving a point. There is great strength in walking away from unnecessary conflict. It is not a sign of weakness, it is a sign of emotional maturity. You do not have to attend every argument you are invited to. Many people waste precious years carrying bitterness from past disappointments. They replay painful memories over and over, allowing yesterday's wounds to steal today's joy. Holding on to resentment does not punish the person who hurt you, it punishes you. Forgiveness does not mean pretending the pain never happened. It means refusing to let that pain control the rest of your life. When you forgive, you are not saying what happened was acceptable. You are choosing to free your own heart from the weight of anger. Another threat to your peace is comparison. In the age of constant social media updates, it is easy to believe that everyone else is moving ahead while you are standing still. You see their achievements, their vacations, their celebrations, and their victories, but you rarely see their struggles, failures, or sacrifices. Comparing your behind-the-scenes journey with someone else's highlight reel will always rob you of contentment. Focus on your own path. Your journey is unique. Your timing is unique. The opportunities meant for you do not disappear because someone else succeeds. Celebrate the progress of others while remaining committed to your own growth. Confidence grows when you measure yourself against your potential instead of someone else's accomplishments. Protecting your peace also requires healthy boundaries. Not everyone deserves unlimited access to your time, your energy, or your emotions. Some people constantly bring negativity, drama, and confusion wherever they go. If every conversation leaves you feeling discouraged, drained, or anxious, it may be time to create some distance. Boundaries are not walls that keep good people out. They are fences that protect what is valuable inside. Take care of your mind just as carefully as you take care of your body. Feed it with wisdom instead of endless negativity. Spend time reading, learning, reflecting, and growing. Choose conversations that inspire you rather than gossip that weakens you. Be intentional about the voices you allow to influence your thinking, because your thoughts eventually shape your actions, and your actions shape your future. There will always be challenges in life. Difficult seasons cannot be avoided, but inner peace can still exist in the middle of uncertainty. Peace does not mean every problem has disappeared. It means you have developed the confidence to face those problems without allowing fear to control you. A calm mind thinks clearly, makes wiser decisions, and responds with patience instead of panic. Remember that your peace is more valuable than winning an argument, impressing strangers, or holding on to unhealthy relationships. Never trade your emotional well-being for temporary approval. Choose environments that encourage growth. Choose friendships that bring encouragement instead of constant conflict. Choose habits that strengthen your mind instead of draining it. At the end of the day, success is not measured only by what you achieve, but also by how you feel while achieving it. If reaching your goals costs you your peace, then the price is too high. Protect your mind, guard your heart, let go of what you cannot control, and focus your energy on becoming the best version of yourself. When your mind is at peace, your decisions become wiser, your relationships become healthier, and your purpose becomes clearer. Never sacrifice that priceless gift for anyone, because a peaceful mind is one of the strongest foundations for a meaningful and successful life. The fourth thing you must never sacrifice for anyone is your self-respect. Of all the treasures you possess, self-respect is one of the most valuable because it shapes the way you see yourself and influences the way others treat you. Long before the world decides how to respond to you, you have already decided what you believe about your own worth. If you fail to value yourself, you will spend your life searching for validation from people who were never meant to define your identity. Many people confuse self-respect with pride or arrogance, but they are not the same. Pride says, I am better than everyone else. Self-respect says, I know my value and I refuse to treat myself as if I have none. It is not about looking down on others. It is about refusing to look down on yourself. A person with self-respect remains humble while also recognizing that they deserve honesty, kindness, and dignity. One of the greatest dangers in life is becoming so desperate for acceptance that you are willing to abandon your standards. The desire to belong is natural, but it should never become so strong that it causes you to lose yourself. There are people who will ask you to change your values, silence your voice, or ignore your convictions just to fit into their expectations. If being accepted requires becoming someone you no longer recognize, then the cost is far too high. Self-respect begins with understanding that your worth is not determined by another person's opinion. People will praise you one day and criticize you the next. If your confidence depends on their approval, your emotions will constantly rise and fall. Build your confidence on something stronger than public opinion. Build it on your principles, your character, your growth, and the knowledge that your value does not change because someone fails to recognize it. Imagine a priceless diamond lying in the dirt. Its surroundings may change, but its value remains the same. In the same way, difficult circumstances, rejection, or failure do not reduce your worth. They may challenge your confidence, but they cannot take away the value that already exists within you. Never allow temporary setbacks to convince you that you are less than who you truly are. Protecting your self-respect also means setting healthy boundaries. Boundaries are not about pushing people away. They are about teaching people how to treat you. When you continually accept disrespect, manipulation, or dishonesty without addressing it, you silently communicate that such behavior is acceptable. Healthy boundaries demonstrate that you value yourself enough to protect your peace, your time, and your emotional well-being. There will be moments when saying no feels uncomfortable. You may fear disappointing people or losing relationships. But remember that every time you say yes to something that violates your values, you are saying no to your own well-being. Wisdom is knowing that you cannot be everything to everyone. Respect yourself enough to decline opportunities, relationships, or commitments that pull you away from the person you are striving to become. Another important part of self-respect is keeping the promises you make to yourself. Many people are faithful to commitments made to others, but repeatedly break commitments made to themselves. They promise to wake up early, to develop new skills, to improve their health, or to pursue meaningful goals. Yet they continually postpone those promises. Every broken promise weakens self-confidence. Every fulfilled promise strengthens it. Learn to trust yourself by becoming consistent. Keep your word even when no one is watching. Every small act of discipline reminds you that you are capable of growth. Confidence is not built by wishing for a better future. It is built by honoring the commitments that move you toward that future. Never chase people who constantly make you question your value. Relationships should encourage growth, mutual respect, and trust. If someone repeatedly belittles your dreams, ignores your boundaries, or makes you feel that you are never enough, do not mistake that for love. Real love does not require you to sacrifice your dignity. Healthy relationships inspire you to become stronger, not smaller. Remember that loneliness is temporary, but losing your self-respect can leave scars that take years to heal. It is far better to walk alone for a season than to remain in an environment that constantly destroys your confidence. The right people will appreciate your authenticity, respect your values, and celebrate your growth. Never lower your standards simply because you are afraid of being alone. Self-respect is also reflected in the way you speak to yourself. Many people are their own harshest critics. They replay every mistake, magnify every failure, and ignore every victory. Replace self-condemnation with honest self-reflection. Acknowledge your weaknesses, but never forget your strengths. Growth begins when you are willing to learn from your mistakes without allowing those mistakes to define your identity. As you continue your journey, remember that the world often treats you according to the standards you consistently uphold. When you respect your time, people learn not to waste it. When you respect your values, people understand your boundaries. When you respect your purpose, people recognize your commitment. Self-respect becomes the silent message that tells the world how you expect to be treated. Never trade your dignity for temporary approval, your principles for popularity, or your identity for acceptance. You were not created to spend your life chasing validation from people. You were created to live with confidence, integrity, and purpose. Stand tall in your values, remain faithful to who you are, and refuse to compromise the respect you owe yourself. When you protect your self-respect, you protect the foundation upon which every meaningful relationship, every lasting achievement, and every fulfilling life is built.